Okay, so I literally just made a LinkedIn post here because someone had like anxiety over whether their LinkedIn posts were going viral, and I kind of made this joke comment that maybe I should outsource my LinkedIn engagement anxiety to AI, and I kind of want to see if this actually works. So I'm going to take this prompt. I'll make a few adjustments to it. But let's basically take this, right? I'm going to take this and I'm going to go into Codex. And here's my job system. There's tons of stuff happening behind here. This is not a hey, you take this prompt and you run it yourself. There's stupendous amounts of stuff going on in the background here. Here's my entire job system, right? So there's multiple roles, and I'll actually engage some of them right now. But there's a ton of research and my voice and my like things to train and stuff. I just wanted to see if this actually would be able to work. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to say first, I'm going to do this read rob .md. That's how I switch into rob mode. And I'm going to say every 2 minutes. I'm going to say in 2 minutes. Uh, because if I don't, there's no exit condition here. So, systems design, this is going to just run forever. Um, when you get to making video, video, make sure you delegate that to content engineer. That content engineer is director. Okay. Uh, and I need to start a run pod manually. So stop the video production. Production. Come on. Production. Before the video render. Okay. Let's see what happens. So let me explain what's going on here. Could not be accessed. Oh, okay. I need to log out. Let me actually do that. Log out. Is this saved right now? Yeah, it's probably saved. Actually, just to make sure, let me just copy this and I'm going to log out. And then this is because I actually use two different accounts in order to sort of get. Here we are. This is my work thing where I run my startup. Log into another account. Let's go to Google and log in with my personal account. Cannot be refreshed yet. Let's hope this works better now. Yes, I want to sign in. Yay! Awesome. Excellent stuff. What the hell is this? What should we do? Just let me actually start this up again. There we go. Here's some codecs. Where's my? Where are all my jobs? No, I don't want a terminal. Do I want this? No, I don't want that either. Where's my chat history? Previous chat, next chats. Is this one? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so this one is still here. So, sorry about that slight deviation. Let's just start this over again. And cool thing in Codex, you can actually just do this and then send it, and it'll start over again. So, let's see what happens now. So, to explain what actually goes on, and this is one of those things where people say they build AI systems and they're experts and they try to sell their products, whatever the hell they're doing, and they never actually show you how systems work, right? This is the job system is something that I built for myself in order to, after I left my previous job, I wanted to build something that made it more likely that I can. It's the last step because As of render, run will prepare and pre-render. Yeah, yeah, awesome stuff. This is cool. Let's just let this run for a little while. So um, I wanted to build a system in order to help me look for jobs because I hate that and it's impossible to get a job right now. And then that's why it's sort of, you know, not probably something that's going to be something that I would actually be very good at. So I built a system and then I expanded it and I said, hey, we should probably do some other stuff and I should probably make some content. And I started to make a community and we have the systems forge now and there's some people there and I also made some client finder. There's a ton of things going on here, and like I said, this is all of it, right? So there's a client pipeline in here. There's a project here for here's Blink, by the way, the thing that I use for extracting my LinkedIn content. Video production, yeah, exactly. Processes, here's my client operating system, everything that goes into how my different roles are searching for clients for me. Didn't I have a roles folder? I have a roles folder here. There we go. I have this client finder here, which is like has his tasks and it has this. So there's a very complex system behind all of this, right? So that's why I'm saying this is not something that is just going to be, um, you know, a prompt that you can copy and paste into your system, right? Because all of the things that you see now has been tailored to what I need, and that's kind of where I think, at least at this stage, most of sort of the productivity or the benefits of AI is essentially when we can. Is this going to run now? Next run, last run, not scheduled. Okay, yeah, this is clearly broken. It doesn't seem to be scheduled to run, and it's been more than 2 minutes. I guess so. This is a failure in the in Codex. Hmm. Next question is trigger. Yeah, that's fine. Does it work now? No, it doesn't work. Automation. Is he gonna check this? No, it's not even going to try to do this. So it's active, so it didn't execute, treating as a fail, wake up, running the mask manually. Yeah, let's run this manually. Okay, so here's kind of what's happening, right? So I'm talking with Rob now. Rob is my concierge, my sort of starting point for doing a lot of things in my system. Rob is a very, very cool doo-doo-doo. Yeah, didn't okay, fine. I'm just reading through this as this kind of happens. But I guess, can I stop this? Cancel, delete, interval every 2 minutes. Yeah, okay. Well, in any case, so Rob is my concierge, my Jarvis. If you've seen Iron Man, of course you have, but if you haven't, like, can you even wear a Marvel shirt? So Rob is my entry point. Rob does all of my organization, orchestration of things. I can ask Rob to do pretty much anything, and it'll figure it out. Right? Rob's really, really cool. Um, Sometimes I need to be very clear, and sometimes there's like, hey, you know what? There's a problem with the run pod, and I haven't checked it today, and maybe there's some stuff I need to do manually. So in this case, I have to tell it to just stop producing videos after we get to a certain point. And Codex, I know this because I've worked with these models a lot. Codex tends now in this particular model to be very, very eager to do things itself. Right, so it's kind of still doing this right now. I'm watching what it's doing, and it's kind of doing a ton of the things that the content engineer, which is another role, what the content engineer should be doing. Right. So, content engineer is supposed to be something that Rob will delegate to, but now you see that it's actually writing these files itself rather than just saying, hey, content engineer, you should do this. Content engineer should do this. You don't have the right context. So delegate it to content engineer as I asked. Like that. So I'm going to stop the current one and just say, hey, you know what? I don't want you to do any of this stuff. Why are you doing this? Right? Because Rob is sort of doing everything, but content engineer is much better at knowing my voice and everything. Um, because again, I'm gonna like undo all of this actually, get rid of all of this. No changes reverted. There were issues reverting some files. Why do you do that? Agent tool on full history, self-contained briefs. Why is this not working? Huh. Oh, well, I guess now Russell is spinning up. Russell now is my content engineer, I guess. These are sub agents, by the way, and it's nice to sort of see their how they communicate with each other. But essentially, this is now Rob saying or asking content engineer to do something. It'll give it some prompts here, and again, hands here. I'm not touching anything. Um, so now this is happening, and content engineers should now be able to delegate all of this to director. Director is the one that actually creates the videos. Blah blah blah. All this should happen right now. So again, we'll see what happens. I'm going to follow this right now, and Russell in turn might now be spawning a director. I don't know how all of this is going to play out, but that's kind of the benefit of doing this. I don't still do a lot of work. Again, I took this prompt from that LinkedIn post, and I added some additional, context things that I know we're going to need to do in order to make this work better. And then the rest sort of kind of just happens by magic. And you'll see here, by the way, that when um, content engineer spins off, it'll have its own role, obviously. Like here's my content engineer, and it has its own knowledge. So the content engineer is sort of the definition of what it should do, its roles and things like that. Content engineer knowledge, and this is for all my files. I have a knowledge file. This is essentially what it has learned, right? And that's how my agents also learn new things. When they pick up something that's interesting, something they have to know for the future, whatever, they put it into this file. So they read this and then whatever. Then there's some voice files here. Voice files are not voice as in me speaking right now. It's voice in how I write things, what phrases I use, what I never use, like anti patterns, like things like that. That's in that. Here's some information about me. Here's what I'm selling, what I'm pitching, what my services are, things like that. So there's like all of these different files now, and this is why I said to Rob that you don't have that context, right? This is what content engineer knows. Content engineer is really, really good at doing this stuff, and you're not, right? Simple as that. So it's actually even feeding it director knowledge right now, which it shouldn't, but that's still fine. I guess. So now, it's doing something. Now it's creating some voice notes for something. It's making a package, and these packages are essentially um, how the uh, any of my roles can ask directly. So this is again okay. Fine. I'm bouncing a bit back and forth now, but I kind of want to make sure I'm explaining this correctly. Each of these agents do work for each other as well, right? And how they communicate depends on what agent it is and what the tasks are, right? So when one of my agents wants to create a video, for example, a talking head videos, and if you've been to my YouTube channel, you've probably seen them, they create a package and they have a format that they use to communicate with director has a specific set of requirements that it has, things like how's my, and actually let me remind you about that right now. Sure, these videos are short form friendly, so vertical and talking heads only, please. Yeah. And it can do this, and yeah. So now it'll create this package, and that'll contain all of the information that it has. Content engineer knows a lot about how I'm writing, and I actually have like some of these you see I have this short form practice thing here. I practice with my content engineer to teach content engineer what I like and what I don't like. So it'll create a script for me, and then based on that, it will essentially review how it's done. Right, it'll try to match that up to my style and whatever, and then it'll come up with some kind of context or some kind of script here about something, right? So check your LinkedIn performance. I read raw, blah blah blah. I bet I'm not actually going viral right now. Am I going viral? I'm probably not going viral. How are we doing? No, run to no, that's not viral. Not at all. I'm joking. Of course, I never go viral. But I guess now I'm typing a package. I'm gonna have a brief. I'm gonna get some details here, and you'll see this is kind of everything that it creates, right? In order to actually make this LinkedIn engagement failure. So here's my package. Here's everything about that video, right? Again, I've only given it some mild direction. Make sure it's a vertical thing. Blah blah blah. Here's the image that I'm going to use. Here's a process. Here's a files, whatever. I'm guessing. Here's some scripts. I think LinkedIn is failing me, not because I had one bad post, not because yeah, I this is one of those patterns, right? That I don't like. It's like, hey, it's not because of this, it's not this, it's this. Right? So this is a clear violation of everything that I've done. And so yeah, these agents don't always do as they're told. They're like children. You kind of have to guard them all the time. I don't like this. Okay, so now it's making this, and it's making a long form video actually. That's interesting. 55 seconds. Does it do no? Okay, so it's actually multiple segments. 13 comments. So you might be like joking about this, right? So but what it does here, and I kind of want to let me actually show you this right now. Let me open this in Visual Studio Code so we can look at it a bit better. And let's do a reopen with a markdown preview, right? So what this does now is that it creates this package for a video, right? And this video now has is the duration, blah blah blah, and it's giving like what are we actually looking at, right? We want to run this as a vertical head, and you know what? That's um, yeah. I'm actually reading through this now, and it's not actually too bad. Here it is. Check in 2 minutes whether any of my agents are going well. Okay, fine. I'll check what is handled. And the package is in place. Handoff. Yeah, well, okay, fine. This stuff is happening. But it's actually creating multiple segments, right? So it's targeting here. It said, I think, somewhere. Brand approval still required. Okay, fine. It's a bunch of drama all the time. This is not linked. This is not LinkedIn is dead. You have to be precise on it. So it's creating all of these different segments, right? It's not actually just making one video. And um, it's directing here, like what does this actually say, and it's building up a storyboard. Like here's a visual, and here's all the things it's doing, and with the exception of, and it's like here's all the videos that we need to do. Here's what we should call it. Here's what we're doing. Production notes, short form video batch, not long form. Vertical 916. Okay, fine. Script approval. Okay, fine. It's asking for approval, which is kind of okay. It's leave this up before the render. Director handoff is ready. Um, did they create the voice files yet? Also, let's go with this. Also, just do one segment. and I'm going to give some feedback to Rob here. Now, obviously, if I'm doing this remotely, if I'm walking or something like that, and I give these instructions to Rob, um, then I won't have the benefit of sitting here and like watching their dialogue and things like that, because now I'm out walking and I'm saying, hey, I have an idea for an article. Go and research this topic for me, do blah blah blah, and whatever, right? So now it's basically I'm kind of cheating, and I'm getting some additional insights to what I usually do, but I'm trimming single use the strongest proof. Again, you should not be authoring content. Stop doing this. Oh, it's gonna be mad at me. Maybe it's mad at me. I don't know. We'll see. Let's actually stop it from doing this now, because we don't want to do this. Um, yeah, we should be providing feedback to the content engineer. I should we not be rewriting us here? Yeah, exactly. There we go. That's the task for content engineer, which has this, by the way. So now again, Rob will send additional stuff here. Just blah blah blah. I don't create new. Yeah, that's fine. Um, from 5 shorts. Yeah, so it creates basically this like massive script for a massive movie, which is fine. It'll figure out. It'll hand this over to director. Director will pick the different camera angles. Get some dramatic shots. Some close-ups of my face. Like not what I'm doing right now, because again, this is why I don't want to do my own sort of videos. I ramble and it goes off script, and it's like might be cool, but it's not something that actually you can sit down and you can sort of just watch and enjoy, and then things work out. But I guess so. It's going to do this right now, and once it's done, um, verify that we have the voice files, and I'll start the run button to do the render. Okay, so let's see what happens now when this is done. It'll keep going for a little while, and it'll make those adjustments. So now that we're working with all of this, the bigger picture here, right? So I'll go off rambling for hours now if we actually, you know, if you let me. We're at 22 minutes right now, but I'm hoping we can sort of get this video actually done. You can see all of the flows here, but essentially, once it's doing all of these things, it's part of a much larger system, as you've already seen, right? So we have these different roles. These are things that do different things for me with my brand. We have like content engineer, we have directors, we have people go to job hunting, we have like people that do LinkedIn analysis and stuff like that. How to back to content engineer? No, always files exist. Okay, fine. It'll start making those in the background. Now, inside here, there's a ton of tools that are available. Here's some text to speech things. Can you check in 2 minutes whether current state is still pre-audio? No, well, yeah, fine. You want me to? I want you to make the videos. No, I want content engineer to get director to do it. There we go. Sometimes, like I said, it wants to do everything itself. Right? Does this actually do anything right now? No, it doesn't. So yeah, and again now Russell, which is apparently right now the name of my content engineer. They started these all the time, by the way, so their names change all the time. This is not actually the names that they have. Let me move this out of the way so you can see what's happening. It's all packaging, right? Their own pre-owned, blah blah blah. I have an assistant writer. Okay, fine. It'll do all of this stuff. There's a ton of tools in here. So right now you're seeing that it's using a Quen based for text to speech. It'll create some scripts here to make the audio. This is using sort of these text to speech things here. Some voice setup in here. There's an MCP here, and this is just some of the local tools that I have available. I'm actually not sure whether Codex will read this stuff. It doesn't matter. They'll figure it out. And yeah, so we have these things, and then we talked about sort of how house are so like how does it know what I like, right? When I run these different trainings, and I practice with it to figure out how to tune it and make it better, all of these things. And then that's sort of in this particular system here. I actually have another one for my regular content, which is here, which has all of these like anti-patterns and examples of my writing. And here's, you know, some things that it uses in order to form an opinion about how I write stuff, right? And it has all of these things here. Voice rewrite protocol. If I ask it to just like, hey, can you take this piece of thing here that I wrote when I went off rambling, can you go and just make this sound more like me, right? Who am I writing for? It needs to ask these things, and it'll ask these things. But basically, here's how this particular process works, right? So there's a lot of things that go into going here and saying, hey, Rob, you know, check my LinkedIn stuff and write me a funny post about LinkedIn being dead or something. Whatever I said in the beginning doesn't really matter. But there's a lot of stuff that actually happens that you don't see here. It has these different roles, it has a different context. When it switches into director mode right now, yeah, see, this is what I said. It's like the local, you know, stop guessing, spawn director. Yeah, like I said, it tends to, if something uh, is slightly off, it'll basically try to do it itself. And in this case, content engineer doesn't know how Python works. Like, why would it? And it shouldn't need to, because director already has all of this knowledge, which it has learned. It has figured out that, okay, in order to do this particular thing, um, it should here's how you resolve all of these issues that it's running into right now. Switching fully into, no, I said spawn, I didn't say, I said spawn, not switch your own context. Yeah, and it can be stupid sometimes, and a lot of the times actually. So now I'm doing that in the hopes that it'll actually learn something from this. I don't think it'll do. I'll have to tell it to learn something sometimes. um, I can't literally spawn a separate indecision because there's no agent spawn delegation tool available. Okay, another workflow I can still preserve. uh, Spawn director agent and do this. Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so here's what happens. Content engineer, which is Russell for this session, tried to do something. It failed. It reported that now, and I told it, hey, you know what? You have no clue how to do this, right? It really wants to, but it, you know, I'm not going to start speaking French now, but it can't do it. So then kind of have to tell it that, you know, you suck at this. Go and tell Rob, and then Rob can handle it. Rob will then say, okay, cool. I kind of get what's happening right now. I'm going to spawn a director here. And director knows how to create the audio, right? Yeah, so here, see, it's like, hey, we're actually missing all of this stuff. The stuff that, you know, content engineer thought it had made because it has no idea how to make my speech things and whatever. Um, yeah, change what you need, content engineer was a bit stupid earlier, so do what you normally do and or done previously. Yeah, like I said, it's sometimes doesn't really, um, you know, the stuff like this. This is kind of the stuff you have to manage, right? I don't have to record my own voice. I don't have to look up documentation. I have to like don't do all of these things, but you still kind of need to oversee them sometimes. This was a somewhat um, Good capabilities. Script needs to generate actual audio artifacts. Yeah, so it'll figure this out. Um, you literally did this last night and it went smooth. Why is this a problem now? Well, let's see. Steered conversation. Yeah, that's usually a good idea. You didn't need that yesterday. Why now? Yeah, my spelling is well, whatever. So now they're doing this, and sometimes again it gets off on the wrong path and it's doing a bunch of shit. And this is why one of the main reasons why you won't want to have focused agents, right? The reason why I have a content engineer is that content engineer knows exactly what it needs to know in order to make or review or rewrite or whatever I want to do with that content. Yeah, stop doing this. You don't need to install anything. And now there's like this. Uh, there we go. Let's move this here. Stop this. There's no mismatch. Nope. Come on. Nope. Was you exactly the same thing? Check the logs. Don't modify processes. Uh, mm, yeah, you'll do some stupid shit. Okay. Yeah, of course I'm right. I was here. I don't care. Just do it like last night. Mm, don't trust anything that content engineer has said. Yeah. You're creating some drama here, but doesn't matter. So now these agents they do their own thing, right? So what happened in this particular case? First of all, Rob started writing content. Rob has no idea what my voice sounds like. He doesn't have the experience from and the knowledge from all of these practice sessions that we did yesterday. It's like, yeah, but I can probably figure it out, right? Because Rob wants to be confident. Rob is really, really great at orchestrating things. It's good at saying, here's a complex task, break it down, figure out what you need, get it done. Ask me if you don't, or if you don't have something that you actually need. That's great for Rob. Content engineer knows really well how to create content. It knows my voice. It knows what I like. It knows what I doesn't like. It has no idea how to do technical stuff, right? Director is really, really great at doing all of the production stuff, creating videos. Here's, now our videos are done. Do. Can we actually listen to this? Let's look at this in a moment. I'm going to listen to this right now. Is it here? Oh, whatever. So you can't hear that. So actually, let me do the subtitles here so you can see those. Right. Here's the number that got me. One of my strong rating posts, certain agent, blah blah blah. Good, right? Now he's also got 700, blah blah blah. All the time. Okay, fine. So it's kind of bitching about LinkedIn, which I asked it to do. Right. So now content engineer has made this, and it kind of also sounds like me. You can't hear the other, but we're gonna make this. So let's actually make this. Render is, I can start run pod now. Okay, so let's do that then. So let's go to run pods. And I got some pods here. Let's fire up a, can we start this? No, of course we can't. So we need to actually migrate this. So oh, there's nothing available. Okay, so let me make a new one. Then I'm gonna have a template here. Here's my talking head video. Okay, fine. This is getting in the way. I'm just moving my face around. Sorry if I'm confusing you. Is there anything here? Yeah, let's do this one. On demand, I have this one. I'm gonna say network volume. No, it's of course because this is like all any region, and I need to have where my network drive is. Okay, still in here. That's good. We have this one, and we're gonna say no pod summary. Come on, where's my network volume? There we go. So now this one is ready. It's not available with your current filters. Aye. Okay, so what do we have available? We have nothing. We have an L4. Okay. Oh, clicked on that too. Now it's gone. Okay, let's make a let's just wait a couple of minutes because usually something becomes available. And we'll check back in a moment. But okay, so while we're waiting for some available pods, by the way, are like virtual machines. So instead of me having to go out and buy like a $4,000 card and a $2,000 PC to go with it, I can rent it for like $1 an hour. And this video here is going to be 10 minutes, so it's going to cost me like 16 cents or something, 16, 20 cents. So once we have this in place, okay, no, actually, sorry, I got distracted again. So once one of these pods come up, global networking, is this an actual thing? Network, oh no, it's, of course it's not. Let me do this and let me do this. And now, do we have something? We have a B100. Yeah, can I actually do this? That would be insane. No network volume has been selected. I'm going to select this one. I can actually spin up a B200. I'm going to do this just for the heck of it. Never done this before. Let's see what happens. No longer any instances. Of course it isn't. Okay, 500. Let's do that one then. 5090. No, not 5090. 4090. Can we do a 4090? Isn't available. Oh, okay. 5090 unavailable. See, this is the entire GPU word or okay, fine. PyTorch 2.0. No, it's actually this warning isn't even correct. It doesn't matter. So my point of all of this, I was hoping I could actually get here, but maybe I can't right now find a pod that's available. But my point here is that director is really good at all the technical production stuff. So in this case, for example, director has produced the voice notes, it has produced a script, it's produced the subtitles, it produced everything. Now the only thing is waiting for is basically one of these pods to be available, right? And I do actually have two pods that I have here. Can I actually start this up? Oh, come on. My face is in the way all the time. Start pod. No, let's migrate to a new one. No one's available. Okay, let's try this one. Start this pod, migrate to a new one. Nothing available at all. Okay, fine. I might actually give up on this, which is a bit sad, but yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing available in Europe at the moment. At least not in this zone. So okay, so director stops at this point because, as you can see, it's a bit of a mess trying to actually find available pods that I can spin up, which is what actually renders my face, my videos, all of that stuff. So if you sort of look at one of these videos that I had here, they'll get shorts. Create out. Where's my? Here it is. Here are some videos that I created yesterday. Failed to resume. Huh, oh, that was interesting. Do I have this one? No, I have this one. Do I have this one? No, doesn't allow me to look at this. for reasons. I don't know why. Uh, okay. Let me see what happens if I go to YouTube right now and I look at my channel. There's some videos here, right? So you've probably seen them already. Um, my channel. Hey, here's some shorts that I made yesterday. So here's some videos, and this is basically just okay. So essentially, here's love the eyes and stuff. I look like I'm drunk. But I guess this is a video that all of these people have made completely on their own, right? So I say, hey, here's like show me an example of a script, and then I work with the script a bit, and I say, okay, cool, this is when it's approved. Go and make it, and then they go and make it, and then last night I basically did this manually, or not manually, but I told it to do it. Then at the end I say, hey, go and publish it, schedule it, one for every day of the week, whatever, and it'll set these up, and then it'll be scheduled. Do I have my thing here? All of these are yeah. Fine. Inspiration shorts. Are they here? Yeah, they're scheduled, right? So these ones are now scheduled to go out, and they're already they're like from initial idea. I basically say, hey, go and look at my content, see what you find. If there's something interesting here, is there a pod available? No, there's no pod available anywhere. This is like nope, nothing. Nothing is like a desert. Okay, so in that case, uh, what I do, let me actually show you this right now, so we can actually get an impression. I do something like no, go away. I do something like short form practice, right? I want to do a short form practice. So what it'll do now, it'll run into all my content, all my books, all my LinkedIn posts, my videos, my scripts, my courses, all of those things, and it'll pick a random piece of content, and then it'll read all of my voice notes and everything, and then it'll generate a 50 to 58-second long YouTube script for YouTube short, or any kind of short form thing, right? It's not available. Activate as a formal skill. Why would it not go? Okay, fine, doesn't matter. So I will not use the contrast reveal pattern, right? But anyways, that's the it's not this, but it's that. It's not the problem with AI is not that you don't know how to prompt, it's that you don't know how to prompt, whatever it is, right? This is the contrast reveal. They really want to write this in everything. I really made everything. I will not use that pattern or ladder, right? So now it'll pick one of these things, topics. AI company personal brand for $50 a month. Okay, cool. um, Here's a title of my script. Here's my text that I want to read, right? Blah, blah, blah. And this overlay layer, if I want AI to say useful and cheap, I have to design the work around the model. Well, that's not actually true, but that's fine. I split the task into two small roles. Okay, that's actually okay. Cool. This is actually what it was saying. It kind of makes more sense now. The group role still matters, but operational layout comes from structure, timing, and boundaries. This is not actually a bad short form video. It's just a short one, but that's fine as well. So I can say, okay, cool, good work. Although, that's fine. I'll actually just do this. Add this to approved. Um, do I want to do this? Yeah, I should do it. Approved scripts, and then hand it to director, uh, to director for production, right? So then it'll spin this up, and it'll start now making that short form video for me. It'll tell director, hey, here's a package. I'm going to make a package for you, make this thing. And once it's done that, it'll spin off a director, just like you saw earlier in the other one. It's like just going to be a new agent down here. and I found an existing director package for approved. I'm reading that package. Append. No, you can't. No, you can't create a new one. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In that case, so now it's going to spin this off, create a new director package for the script, blah blah blah. It'll do all of these things, and basically, that's how I make these videos, right? So I have the director package, creating four artifacts in one pass, a script file, blah blah blah. It'll do all of these things, and then once it's done, the director will get this package. It'll record my video, my voice. It'll then hopefully, if there were ever going to be yeah, I'm gonna have to find this or make this available in multiple zones. But in any case, it's gonna find a pod and it's gonna render all of this. And at the end of it, I'm gonna get one of these videos. This is literally an example of how it's done. I don't touch any of this, right? I don't schedule it. I don't write these descriptions. I don't write the titles. I don't do thumbnails. I don't do anything. I literally just say this particular flow here. Click this link, right? And then all of these things, my voices, my ideas, my content, everything here is already in the system. And that's why content engineer can do this work. And then again, director knows all about how to reduce things. It knows about that I had a agent previously. It knows that I don't use that anymore because it's expensive. And like making a video here is like 16 cents instead of $30 a month. Um, and sort of like these agents do their particular thing, and it's really 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 cool. But it all starts with something that's simple. We want to simplify all the time, right? And we want to make sure that once we actually get this, here's the output. We can actually see what they came up with. I can modify this, and I can say I like this, I don't like this. I can make all the changes that I want, and then I want to hand it off. And now I want to, like, at the end of it, I want to get a list of, am I actually going to, new production will be a standard. Okay, so I'm going to get this job right now. Once director spins this off, it's going to show me and give me an audio recording if there's like artifacts, if it doesn't look right, whatever. It might, if it's done, if it's made mistakes, it'll actually redo the entire thing. Do do do. Okay, then hand it off then. Okay, fine. Let's do this. And then, yeah, like I said, sometimes it'll just not do this for records on actual handoff, so I can mark the writer. Spawn new agent. Oh, stop. Yeah, supposed to look at skill dot md for director. Oh, stop. We're supposed to spawn director agent. Look at roles director skill.md. Literally, like here's like I guess I'll need to make a better way for these people to know how to. I should have, yeah, you should have, right. Moron. Go away. You haven't done any of this stuff. You're a moron. That's why you can't do this, right? So now maybe this one is better. Commission from the approved script, target platform, blah blah blah. Portrait. Okay, fine. This is what it's supposed to be doing, right? This is kind of exactly what it's doing. Mostly usable with the current pass block that run pod run the path. Don't do anything. Load the rest of it. Business information is not at the root. No, that's actually fine. Okay, fine. I'm going into details here. This is the point is that once this actually runs, you can do 5, 10 at a time. And I'm trying to explain this now, and I'm showing you a ton of different things. And yeah, we spent way too much time just looking at the video. Point is that we started this by me saying, "Hey, where's my this is not a fresh intake. It is just fresh intake. Side course. Yeah, well, kind. It does weird stuff. But I guess so. Now we've gone from me saying, "Hey, I'm frustrated. I should automate my a LinkedIn AI engagement anxiety," to now actually go walking you through kind of how these video scripts are made and how they all work and stuff like that. So this is going to happen. I'm going to wrap this thing up right now because we're at 50 minutes, and that's really too long on me just rambling. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a shorter version of this to upload to LinkedIn, I'm guessing, but maybe someone wants to actually watch this. And this will definitely be up on System Forge, as that's one of the things that we do there. And we do these things all the time, by the way. So if you want to like join us, feel free to reach out, hit me up, and we'll get you into System Forge. That's the community where we sort of walk through and learn to build things like these. And yeah, now we'll see how this actually works. Untracked work in this repo. Yeah, fine. This is it's not relevant. I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you for watching. If you've been around all the time, otherwise, congratulations to the end of the video to reach the end of the video, or skipping to it. It doesn't really matter. Thanks for now, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. No.